Okay, so I'm working on chapter 2.2, problem number 5. Now this problem is a 3-variable truth table question. And this question is where not P or Q implies not Q. Now as you can see here, I started off writing the possible scenarios for P and Q, where both P and Q are true, P is true and Q is false, P is false and Q is true, and where both P and Q are false. Now here I added the column for not P. Basically this is the opposite of P. So whatever is true is false, and then whatever is false is true. And then same here for Q. Whatever is true for Q is false for not Q, and then whatever is false for Q is true for not Q. Now up here I wrote that it was a conclusion because, as you can see, this is also the conclusion to our question. Now here on this column, I did the hypothesis part, where not P or Q. Now in this instance, we compare the values of not P to the values of Q. And the only way the values is false is if both values are false. Otherwise, it would be true. So for instance, Q is true and not P is false. So that's true. Q is true and not P is true, so the value is true. And then Q is false and not P is true, which is true. In this instance right here, both Q and not P are false. So the value for this column would be false. And then we try to put it all together, where not P or Q implies not Q. And basically I wrote this column down based on the values of our conclusion. So as you can see, with our conclusion, false, false, true, true, false, false, true, true. And here it is. This is our truth table for the question, not P or Q implies not Q.